Morning, folks. Bay State Yankee here. It's fall. Today's the first full day of fall, and I've been sitting here having some coffee and reading up on my weather and my Farmer's Almanac, and it's telling me that we just went through some rainy periods. Now it's going to be cool. Actually, what had happened was it was hot and humid. Some storms went through, and we got a chance of another slight shower this afternoon, but then we're going to go into about 4 days of sunny and warm. And when they say warm, they're talking 70, 72, you know, we consider that warm. So it's a good time for me to reflect on what's got to be done coming up in the fall. And as I'm sitting here this morning, I see the breeze blowing pretty good, and leaves are starting to come down. And that can only mean one thing for a homeowner, and that's clogged gutters. They don't stop. Seems like you just clean them out, and then they fill up again. In the fall, you got to check them every week, pretty much, to keep them clean and running. The downfall is if you don't do it, that the water overflows, gets in the ground all around the base of your house, and then seeps into your basement. Now, for those folks who don't have basements, good for you. But we've got them, and they're wet, so, or at least damp. So I try to keep those gutters flowing. I have a system where the water is funneled away from the foundation of the house, so it minimizes the dampness in the basement. And it seems to work quite well, but I have to keep the gutters clean. In the fall, I know they got to be clean. You get the ladder out and you just clean it, like today. I know they need to be clean. But in the summertime, late spring, early, mid-to-summer, you know, where you don't get a lot of leaf drop, you're never quite sure, but you get some big storms. And if you find out the hard way that your gutter is clogged, then you got to get up there next day and it's packed in there. And you know. So I thought that I would come up with a plan to find a way to take my camera and look down into the gutters from the ground without getting a ladder out, and just check to see if it needs to be cleaned. Some days in the summer, I get the ladder out and go around and check all the downspouts. It doesn't need anything. It's kind of a waste of time. So it might be easier just to take a camera or your phone and just check it. So I had this idea. I had a long telescoping pole, and I thought that I would attach the camera to the end and check it out. Seemed a little strange, but I went for it. So I also was able to utilize this. I picked this up at Walmart. Picked this up at Walmart. And it's a selfie stick. It floats. It's hollow in the handle. Cap comes off. And you put a camera, a waterproof camera, of course, on the end of this. And it bobs around in the water. And I guess you take pictures of fish and whatever you're going to do. Well, you know, this boy ain't going to do that, but I thought, maybe I could use it someday. Well, someday came, and I found that if I take the cap off, I can fit it on the end of the pole. I can tilt the camera, photograph what I want. If nothing else, I can do some nice aerial shots outside. So today looked like a good day to play with this before I actually clean the gutters. So I got out there and did it. So why don't you put your feet back and drink a cup of coffee and check this out. See how it's going to work. Right. Okay, so what we're going to do is I've got this little camera, this Vivitar DVR 786 HD. It's a good little camera. It's like a $40 unit. Picked it up at Walmart. Works well. And I'm going to mount it on top of this. This is a floating selfie stick. There's a little cap that goes on there. It's designed to hook your waterproof camera to it, and it will bob up and down in the water, giving you a shot underwater. Well, I wasn't really going to use that, but I was at the store and I found that they had marked it down to $5. So being a Yankee, I couldn't refuse that one. So I bought it. And now what I'm going to do is mount this to the end of this pole. This is a telescoping 12-foot long pole made to attach to a paint roller. And I'm going to hook it right on here. It doesn't screw in, but it fits snugly. I'm going to screw my camera on this and then hold it up to view what's in those gutters, if anything. So let me give it a try. So this is a test shot. This is the camera mounted on top of a 12-foot pole. Just showing you around the yard and what it looks like from an elevation of that. Typically, if I'm filming outside, you don't see something this high. And I wanted to get the feel of the pole and to see if I could get some control over the camera, because you're waving this thing around with a tiny camera on it. So it's going to be shaky, and you know, when you're using equipment like that, that's just the way it goes. So let's take a shot at this. So I'm discovering right away that it's not as easy as I thought to direct the lens of that little camera. While I was filming this, I thought I was doing a really good job. When I went back and revisited the video, I realized that I was not seeing anything that, you know, I could really use. I did note that there was some leaves in the downspout there that definitely need to be cleaned, but I think I could have done a better job at directing that camera into the gutter, so I'll have to work on this. I did a little better here, but here I was standing further away from the building and holding the rod at a longer, you know, a steeper angle, or less steeper angle rather. And again, I could see that, you know, there is stuff I need to have cleaned in there, but it's still really not perfect. So, you know, I'm not sure if this particular camera is going to work well for me in this. And this is one more attempt at the shed roof, the gutters, and again, I can see that it needs to be cleaned. This turned out a little easier because I was able to approach closer to the building, but I think we need to make a change here. Okay, that did not work. The lens on that camera is so small that it's great for a bigger shot standing back, but trying to get a close-up, I just can't do it. Standing on the ground, figuring the angle of the pole, the angle of the camera, and I couldn't judge the distance between where I was and the gutter in order to be able to get it. I got some nice pictures of the ground and some great pictures of the roof, but nothing of the gutter. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to hook up I have an Android phone. I'm going to try that, and I've changed the angle, which I think you can see, in order to get, you know, from the ground a better angle. This takes a better shot, you know, a wider shot. So I'm going to try that, but I still have the problem of the distance. So after a couple of tries, what I did was I hooked a piece of this tape, plastic tape, to the handle and try using that so I could maybe judge where I was, you know, over the gutter. But because it's breezy out today, it kept blowing up like this in front of the small camera. So that really wasn't working well for me. So I'm going to ditch that and go with this and see what I can get. In the meantime, try to figure out a way to solve this problem. Give you an idea of how windy it is today. It just blew over this umbrella. It's got a heavy cast iron stand, but that didn't seem to bother the wind. So, time to put that down. Right away, I would say that this probably works a little better, getting a better, like a wider angle. But I'm still having a problem with judging the distance from where I'm standing to where the actual gutter is. I've got to work up a plan to be able to focus on it as if I was up there. Again, you can see here, you're just seeing the sidewall. And, I am picking up that I do need to clean that particular gutter. And there's another shot. You can just see on the very edge, the leaves in there. That should be positioned right in the middle of the frame. And again, nice shots of the roof. So overall, I think that using the cell phone seems to work a little better. Being wider, it gives me a better view from the ground of how to tilt it, the angle to have it at, and where to put it. But I still need to focus on being able to position it directly over that gutter. So I think we're back to the drawing board on this. So while I had the pole out there and the camera, and incidentally, this is the Vivitar camera, not the cell phone. And so as you can see from a distance across the backyard, it does a better job than it does doing close-up shots. And I read online that it doesn't do well on close-up shots. So I guess that's the way it goes. It's a cheap camera, and this is taken from the southernmost point of the yard, looking over the property. This was a tree line here on the right at one time. We removed all those pine trees. The garden area, the grapes, things you've seen in other videos. There's an apple tree back there, the shed. And in the foreground on the left is your big compost pile. You see the wood stacked in there. It's 3/4 of an acre, so it gives us quite a bit of space to do our activities outside. And there's a lot of lawn to mow, but this garden right in the center here has to be completely redone in the spring. It gets a lot of shade in the afternoon. You can see the bushes leaning to the right, and we want to change all that. So, we'll see what we can do in the spring. We'll work on a plan over the winter, and then we'll probably do a video on it in the spring of what we're actually moving. All those bushes will be saved but moved. They'll just be moved to a sunnier location where they don't have to stretch so far for the sunlight. There's a lilac in there, there's a Rosa Sharon, and then there's another bush. I'm not sure what it is, but it has a lot of red berries that the birds like in the fall. So we like to keep that there. But we'll find a good home for it. And there's some other smaller plants there that can be moved. There's actually a stone bench on the other side that we had put together, but that's got to move to a different location. So it's just a nice area of the yard. It was actually a building lot at one time. We opted to keep it vacant. Well, that was certainly a lesson. I think I'm going to have to make some kind of a rack to fit on the end of this so that I can tell how my camera is filming, which way it's directed, because I just cannot see it correctly from the ground. And you know, I'm coming in at an angle like this, and I'm not getting the angle of the camera right. So I don't know. I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of plan. The orange tape hanging off is blowing around. I was thinking maybe something, piece of heavy wire or something that dropped down, but it's just so small from the ground, and you're like 12 feet up. You know, for me, it's just not working right. I got enough glimpses, as you can see from the video, I got enough glimpses of the gutters to know that, yeah, they do need cleaning. But I kind of knew that anyway. So I don't consider it a waste of time. I think it's a good step in the right direction. And with a little tinkering, I think I can come up with a good plan to manufacture something here that I can just hold it up there and shoot right down the gutters. And of course I don't need to do the whole gutter, it's only at the downspouts that they clog pretty much, but just to save me some time in the summer. So I'll work on that, and I can play with it this winter. That's a good indoor job, so we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and if you ever want to help clean gutters, you know where to go. Have a good one.